Hello YouTube, welcome back once again to the EdWord. As I promised, in today's video I will be doing my reaction and recap to the trailer for the first season of the new upcoming summer show, Fear the Walking Dead. The Walking Dead spin-off is based in LA. Ooh, it looks exciting, you guys. Looks like fun. Definitely getting that feeling of nostalgia from when we saw like the very first trailer exactly 5 years ago when they debuted the trailer for the very first season of The Walking Dead. You know, it felt very nostalgic for me personally, and that's a good sign because I really liked what I saw with The Walking Dead season 1 trailer, and I really liked with what I saw for the Fear the Walking Dead season 1 trailer. So it's set to premiere on August 23rd, and I believe this first season is only 6 episodes, so hopefully that means they cut to the good stuff real fast, real good. Obviously, the first 2 episodes are most likely going to establish our characters and their relationships with each other, and once we get a good idea of who everybody is, then the carnage and the mayhem can begin. I think that's when we're going to start to see that kind of stuff. At least that's what I personally feel. So I'm excited. So from what I can tell, it's set in LA, and as the cast and crew have confirmed on repeated occasions, this is set in the beginning of the outbreak. So what I'm guessing as far as timeline goes, this is all going down right before or right after, most likely right after Rick goes into his coma after being shot in the line of duty. And so that means, like, you know, this is taking us almost all the way back to the very beginning of this apocalypse. Because on The Walking Dead, we're like 2 or 3 years into it, like 2.5 years into the zombie apocalypse. And this show is almost like a back to the future, back to the past kind of thing. So I'm excited about it. It's set here in LA, and from what I can tell, it looks like our 2 main characters are these 2 high school teachers, this man and this woman. The actors are Kim Robertson, most recently from Gone Girl, and she has quite a career so far as an up-and-coming actress. And there's Cliff Curtis, who's appeared in numerous sci-fi and action movies. I've seen him in Live Free or Die Hard, 10,000 BC, and he's done lots of other movies as well. So I think there are 2 main characters. They're both high school teachers who are in a relationship with each other, because it establishes fairly quickly how they're both divorced and they each have grown children. Of course, when I say grown, I'm not talking about like little kids. I'm talking about kids who are in high school age or in their early 20s. So Kim Robertson's character, her character has a daughter who's probably still in high school, and then her son, it looks like, lives on the streets of LA, because in the trailer we see him waking up in this deserted church, which has become like a makeshift homeless town for the homeless to take refuge in and set up their little campsites and whatnot inside this church. He wakes up to this weird sound, and there's one of his fellow refugees, presumably a refugee like him, in this church. And when I say refugee, I'm not referring to the zombie outbreak, I'm just referring to them being homeless. He wakes up and she's eating another fellow refugee, and in the next shot we see like a metal pipe sticking out of her shoulder, as if the boy or somebody else tried stabbing her with a metal pipe thinking that would stop her. Scares him, he gets the hell out of there, he's running, and all of a sudden he's hit by a car, and all these people swarm him, and then our characters are in the hospital, and Kim Robertson's character is like, he was high, what happened to him? So what I'm guessing is that they're going to quickly establish that these 2 have had a falling out. The female high school teacher and her son had a falling out, and he's no longer in high school, and maybe after he graduated high school he started doing drugs and just went down a path of self-destruction and ended up homeless, and they don't speak to each other, but she and her daughter still live together. Anyway, they go to the hospital. Cliff Curtis, her boyfriend, comes along with him, and possibly his son, because he's divorced and he's got a son and an ex-wife from the look of it as well. And, you know, that's when Nick, I think his name is Nick, yeah, Kim Robertson's son, Nick, is like, they were all dead. They're all dead because everybody's asking him, what happened? Like, why did this happen? Like, what did you see? It's like, they were all dead. And it cuts to another high school student who looks like he's like speaking privately to Kimra Bursa, and he's like, it's safer in numbers. Safer from what? And then it cuts to what looks like a walker wearing one of those Chinese hats. I don't know what the exact name of them are, but you see them in China, or like Chinatown in LA or San Francisco. You know, some of the Chinese residents there still wear those hats sometimes, and it's very, very shadowed, and it's kind of walking, you know, like this, with like a slightly tilt head very slowly. And then it shows us that, you know, this is the very beginning of the zombie apocalypse, an unexplained viral outbreak, if it even is a virus, and they don't even know, because characters are saying they don't even know what it is, if it's a virus or if it's microbes or something. So I think this first season is going to be about establishing our two main characters, these two high school teachers, both of whom have older children, both of whom who are divorced, and their families coming together, since they come together, and they most likely form this little group of survivors towards the end of this very first season. That's just my guess. And from the looks of it, it looks like in the first episodes or so, the first couple episodes, they're actually separated, because Cliff Curtis's character, with what looks like his son and presumably his ex-wife, for some reason, take refuge in this store that's right out that where this enormous riot is going on between protesters and what looks like armored police. And, you know, it might just be people clashing with cops because maybe LA is placed under a quarantine, or perhaps it's not people clashing with cops in riot gear, but it's actually walkers who have started attacking people, and nobody can tell who's a walker and who's a person during all that chaos. But it looks like they take refuge in a store with the older couple who works and lives there, and they take refuge with them, but he somehow gets a cell phone call to his girlfriend, Kimra Burrison's character, because she's like, hey, where are you? We're trapped. And then it looks like they're all in a pickup truck all of a sudden outside driving away. So obviously they managed to escape somehow. Don't know if it's in the very same episode where they take refuge, or if it's in the next episode where they all escape together out of a pickup truck. But this first season is basically going to be the downfall of Los Angeles, symbolizing the downfall of civilization overall, since this is happening all over the world, all over the country, because it definitely happened in Atlanta, Georgia. So it's definitely happening in Los Angeles, California. So I think that's what this show is going to introduce us to, the very early days of the outbreak and how people first reacted and handled it. So that's what I think. That's my impression from I got from this trailer. It looks like fun, very exciting. I'm hoping it's good. You know, if it's got the same producers and writers from The Walking Dead, I'm sure it'll be just as fun. Obviously not as good as The Walking Dead, but if they make it damn near close, I'll be happy with that. I'll be satisfied with that. It looks like fun. Bottom line, it looks like fun. Another fun zombie show. And I also love how they incorporated the fact of the usage of social media and up-to-date trends, where like everybody's all huddled around an iPad or an iPhone, like, whoa, check out this leaked footage. And it looks like there was an accident on the freeway, and there's paramedics with an ambulance and cops, and this paramedic leans over the person on the stretcher, and this person grabs them. Obviously the person has turned and they're a walker, pulling the paramedic down and biting their neck. It was very reminiscent of that scene from George A. Romero's Diary of the Dead, and if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. It's a fun one. It's a good one. It was very reminiscent of that scene, and basically, you know, like there's no way in hell that's real. And then on the leaked footage, it shows the cops opening up on the walker who's slowly getting up. Like, obviously, they all shoot him in the chest like 3 or 4 times, and he gets halfway down on his knees but stands himself back up again. And of course, our characters look completely perplexed and bewildered, like, what is going on here? What's happening? You know, those are their facial expressions, and I'm sure they say it out loud to themselves too. So I think, yeah, overall, this first season is going to be our two main characters, the two high school students, getting their families to safety together, hopefully together. And once they're all together, that's when real struggle and real survival begins. So overall, I'm excited. It looks like fun. I'm very much looking forward to it. Tune in on AMC August 23rd for the series premiere of Fear the Walking Dead. And like I said, I believe it is only 6 episodes this first season, and since it's already been renewed for a second season, which I think is a very good sign, because that shows that the bosses at AMC think this is going to be another hit show, and that's why they've already renewed it for a second season, knowing this show is going to quickly develop a following, because obviously, you know, Walking Dead fanatics like myself and millions of other people all over the world are going to be tuning in to watch this show since it is set in the same universe as The Walking Dead. So that fan base is just going to transition from one show to another, and this will keep us satiated until The Walking Dead returns on August 11th on AMC. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the trailer as much as I did. I'm sorry it took this long to get a reaction video posted up, but I am, like I've told you, I've been really behind on a lot of my stuff, but I am catching up. So thank you for tuning in and watching. Please hit that subscribe button. What are you looking forward to in this show? What do you think is going to happen? You know, how do you think they're going to unfold and reveal how these characters all know each other and what kind of relationships they have or are going to have? You know, what's your first impression or reactions to this trailer? Are you looking forward to it? Do you think it'll be dumb? Do you think it'll be great? Does it look like a Walking Dead ripoff, even though it's technically a spin-off? What do you think? You know, just sound off down below. I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts and opinions. Let's be respectful and civil of one another, of course. And thank you for tuning in here on the EdWord once again. And until next time, fight the dead, fear the living. I know that's going way back from season 3, but it's one of my favorite taglines from The Walking Dead, but I feel like it applies to Fear the Walking Dead as well. So, you know what I mean. Thanks again, guys.